We're going to go over the white belt, yellow belt, and green belt kicking techniques and how to hold pad for them. So the first thing is make sure you're warmed up. As you can see, Sue's here, she's doing some leg swings. Make sure you do your warm-ups before you get started. For these exercises, you will need one pad, but in the future you might want two pads so you can do combination kicking. The first thing that you have to know is when our chests are facing the same direction, that is called open stance, and when our chests are facing opposite direction, where they're facing each other, that is called closed stance. So I'll use that as our terminology. So the first thing we want to practice is our fast kick in closed stance. So I'm going to take the pad, I'm going to put it at her stomach, I'm going to edge it towards my partner, and then it's a partner's job to then throw the fast kick. Hana! Good. Do it. Switch your feet. Hana! Do it. I just did 2, but you should do 5. So the next technique we're going to work on is a roundhouse kick, and this is where we're going to stand in open stance. So I'm going to stand open stance, take a step back, Hana! Good, she's doing the step back version, that's what we're looking for. Do it! And switch your feet. And Hana! Do it! Next technique is a front leg flick, and we're going to start off in closed stance. And I'm going to be here, this is a reaction drill because this is a counter attack. So I'm going to be here and I'm going to feed it. Just be careful that you release the pad at the same spot every time so that your partner knows where to expect the pad. Remember, it's a partner's job to adjust their distance. The next technique is the slide back. This is also a counter attack. So we're going to start off in closed stance. Take a step closer. And just make sure you have space behind you. The pad holder is going to step forward and feed the pad inside. And just like that, the slide back. Beautiful. And you'll notice when I step forward, I'm holding it here. I'm not putting it into the stomach. I want to keep it close to me. Awesome. Yes, exactly. So that my partner kind of can understand where they should spatially stand from their opponent. Because like in real life, if I'm going to throw a roundhouse kick, Sue does a slide back, she gets used to that distance. But if I'm standing here and I go slide back, go ahead, Sue sees the pad, but she also sees me. And if you want to be a good pad holder, you want to be as close as possible to... Yes, beautiful. Nice job. Next up is cut kick. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold the pad at hip height, and we're going to stand at open stance. Okay? Good. Good. Switch. Good. So this next kick is a push kick, and it's a little bit higher impact. So if you have 2 pads, stack them together. If you only have 1 pad, put a pillow underneath. If you don't have any pads, put 2 pillows. We're going to stand in close stance, and you're just going to push off your back foot, step forward, and the person's going to push it. Good. And that might happen if you're holding for your kid. Your kid might throw the push kick and they themselves will get pushed back. That's fine. As a pad holder, that means now maybe step forward with a little bit less intensity. That's okay. Figuring it out happens. Good. Right on. Next kick is the in-place cut kick. So I'm going to hold the pads here. This time I'm in open stance. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a little step forward. And your partner's just going to do the in-place cut kick. Good. Good. Cool. So this next technique is going to be the skip step axe kick. So my partner is going to hold it at my chin height. Chin height, see, right here. Just take a step back. And this is going to be from an open stance position. So remember, it's the kicker's job to adjust the distance. So I go skip and throw the axe kick. Very good. Here. Good. Ooh, I didn't stretch. I probably should have. Next technique, back leg axe kick. So Sue's going to go ahead and switch her position. So that we're going to stay in close stance. Okay, so here I'm in back leg axe kick. Sue holds it at my Partner holds it at chin height here. And I bring my knee up. Ah. Ah. And just a note, when you hold the pad for X kicks, you want to keep your wrist straight and let the pad kind of angle down. You don't want it to be like this. You don't want it to be flat, just hanging down. You want to slightly angle it so that it's easier for the foot to hit. So the next technique is the jump back kick. And when you hold for the jump back kick, you want to hold it like this, okay? If you don't have pads, don't bother holding. This is one of those kicks that are not very accurate to start off with, and you can easily get your hands hit. Jump back kicks, best practice against dummy like Bob here, but if you want to try and you're like, you accept the risks, then you're going to hold it at the belly button height, and the other person's going to do a jump back kick. So go ahead here, hold these. So he's going to hold at the ends, put a belly button height, here, we're here, and then, again, Okay, great. So the next technique is the front back double kick. You're going to hold it in closed stance like you normally would. So we're here in closed stance, you're going to hold the pads for the fast kick first, and then the back leg double kick. After the first kick is initiated, you're going to step back and feed the pad here. Notice I step back and I keep the pad close to my body. I don't step back and throw the pad in front. I keep the pads close to my hips. So it's 1, 2. Okay? There you go. We don't want to get hit. So the second you see me go, you see your partner go, you step back just as fast. Yes, very good. Thank you. Well, hopefully that was enough for you. Remember, pad holding is a skill not only going to help your partner get better at kicking, you're going to also improve your awareness of your partner's technique to understand where the kicks are coming from, what a good kick feels like. You'll start to understand the subtleties of what makes a good technique good and what makes a technique great, right? You can just see it's effortless, they have lots of power, they're fast, they're accurate every single time. So with that, I hope you have fun practicing.